Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Good morning, everyone. I'm working on my video for today, and I just want you to know that I'm looking at all these videos online. The outpouring, there's a lot of crappy people online, but the outpouring of just love that Charles is getting, the shouts of God Save the King. And I think some people might have underestimated just how popular Charles was going to be. And I wondered what was going to happen when the Queen died, but I have to say, I seeing all of this online, I honestly believe that the monarchy is in good hands. And I'm not sure why I'm so upset, because I'm not from the UK. She wasn't my queen, but I mean, it's just emotional about the whole thing. So let's just jump in with what we've got for today and go from there.
Before we get into our regular photos today, I just wanted to show this one. I'm not saying she wasn't pretty at her age. She aged very gracefully, but my goodness, was she gorgeous when she was younger. I mean, she was absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Wow. And it took me back to this photo that I saw on the Queen's desk when she gave her speech one year. Exactly. All right, starting up, this first picture was sent to me by my subscriber, Sam. This is a picture from a restaurant balcony at dinner at the Hotel Posa Posa. I hope I'm saying all that correctly, in Positano, Italy. Beautiful. Next up, these pictures were sent by subscriber Melanie. These are the Kelpies sculptures in Scotland. Beautiful. Then we have this interesting photo taken by my subscriber Christine, and I believe, if I'm reading it right, this was taken in New Zealand. Wow. And lastly, I have this photo sent by a follower. It's called "This is Wells Next the Sea Again on the Norfolk Coast." I hope I'm saying that correctly. Thank you to my subscriber Simon for sending me this beautiful photo. All right, let's get on with our news today. All right, it's been 24 hours now. We're coming up on, it's the next day since the Queen passed away. We've all had 24 hours, I believe, to come to grips with the fact that she's gone. It's not getting any easier, but we have to turn our attention to what all is happening in the world, and what's going to happen with her funeral and other, things. Now, a lot of people are asking what's going to happen to the 4 dogs she left behind, because there was 2 corgis, a Dachshund, and another dog. And apparently it's being reported that Andrew is going to take the dogs because he was responsible for giving her at least 2 of them. So don't worry about the dogs. All right. Harry left Balmoral. He left alone. He was the first to leave. That tells you something about what's going on there. But here's a little clip. He was swept straight to the airport, where he boarded a flight to head back to Meghan at Frogmore. Now, interestingly enough, the stories are all coming out. He didn't make it in time. And you have to wonder what's going on. Obviously, there's still some tension with the family since he literally ran out the next morning. That's the first thing. The second thing is that he flew back to Meghan, and the question is Meghan leaving or is she staying? And what about their kids? And the third thing is that really shouts out at me is the fact that everybody else made it there on time, and they could have included Harry in that flight, but they didn't want him there, obviously. You should also know it's being reported online, although not confirmed, that the reason Harry was late to his flight to get there in time was because he had a big fight with Meghan, because Meghan was told that she couldn't go. Unconfirmed, but alleged. You know, I have to tell you guys, I'm really getting worried about Harry. I already showed you the scratches down the right side of his face. And ever since that photo was taken at that One Young World thing that they were at, nobody's taken a picture from the right side. So to confirm or deny scratches. However, apparently, according to Keep It Real 1, and thank you for this photo, this shows scratches on his right hand as he's in the car going back to the airport. Makes you wonder if it's true that there was a fight and maybe she scratched him. Interesting. All right, moving on. Now, the other thing is it's all over the news, and I told you this yesterday. Everybody's saying that Archie and Lily are now prince and princess automatically, blah, blah, blah. Well, they updated the line of succession, as you can see above, and they are not listed as prince and princess. I do believe Charles is going to take decisive action, and this action is a reaction to what's been going on in the last week, right down to when Meghan made an out-and-out threat in the Cut magazine against the family. Yeah, karma's coming, and it is coming fast. And let's not forget that Meghan threw it out during the Oprah interview that they wanted to change the convention just for Archie, and she made those allegations. And then, of course, we found out later on that she had heard that Charles was going to be slimming down the monarchy, and she wanted to make sure her children got their titles. And I hate to point this out, but he's been talking about slimming down the monarchy for longer than she's ever been around. So, yeah, I think he's going to rip those titles away, and it'll fall right into their victim mentality, and maybe she'll give another interview, but in the end, no titles. And now, of course, the PR stuff is going out because, okay, well, the title here clearly says that Archie and Lilibet didn't know the Queen. They said hardly knew. The kids don't know her, don't remember her, and she only met the kids like once. The article is all about, in my opinion, Harry and what a close relationship he had with his grandmother and how devastated he must be, and on and on and on. It's like, people, give it a rest. You had multiple opportunities to see her. You passed it up. It's over for you. As far as the Queen goes, it's being reported her coffin is being placed in the ballroom at Balmoral, where she used to dance with Philip. And the reason they did that was so that the household staff could pay their respects before she's taken by apparently a very slow train ride back to London. This is the same ballroom in 1890. Isn't that just amazing? Anyway, apparently those are the plans as it is right now. That's where the Queen is right now, is I guess the point that I'm trying to make. Now, the plans for the funeral, everything is coming out. I'm not going to cover all of that. There's a lot. You can go on the royal family website. There's all the mourning and condolence arrangements. There's a thing you can sign, if for a condolence book, because there's no physical condolence book. But Charles did say there would be 17 days of mourning, apparently, throughout the entire thing. Okay. All right, I just want to throw this in here really quickly. It comforts me to know that Charles and Anne made it to the Queen's side before she passed away. It appears that the rest of the family who flew in did not make it in time, but it does. I find it comforting to know that Charles probably had one hand and Anne probably had the other, and, a nice family moment without any drama. Yeah. I also want to say there's a rumor online. Again, it's a rumor. It's alleged. I don't know if it's true or not, but they're saying that the Queen knew she was dying, which I can believe. She mightn't have known that. And that's why she didn't come back to London from Scotland, that she knew she was dying and she wanted to die in Scotland because that was her favorite place. That was Philip's favorite place. If that's true, then I'm glad she had control right up until the end. There's been a lot of tributes, but one of the, and I can't cover all of them, but I like the fact that Australia's Defence Force fired 96 rounds for the Queen. Watch this. I mean, everything is coming in from around the world. Obviously, I can't put it all in here, but the outpouring of love is just wonderful to watch. It really is. Now, King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla left Balmoral a few hours after Harry did. They have to return to London. Apparently, there's a lot to do. So here's a little snippet of them at the airport. And here they are landing in London. And this is what he found when he got there. Watch this. Now, when they got there, they got out of the car and they walked around. It was really wonderful to see. Everybody was giving Charles their condolences. They were yelling, "God save the king." It was really touching to watch. When they were done with the walkabout, they decided to go around and look at all of the floral tributes that had been left. And my goodness, were there a lot. The whole front of the palace was covered in beautiful floral arrangements. You just couldn't help but look. And Charles at one point looked like he was overcome in this picture. It's so heartbreaking. Anyway, the two of them came back together. They waved to everybody. And then the most poignant photo that I think I've seen since the Queen died is this one of the two of them walking into Buckingham Palace together. Wow. And that was when the king's standard was raised for the first time since he was now the king. Wow. Now, not long after Charles and Camilla went into Buckingham Palace, it was time for the Prime Minister, the same Prime Minister who just had the kissing of the hand ceremony with Queen Elizabeth just, 4 days ago, showed up to have her first meeting with King Charles III. And look who was there to open the door. Watch this. Johnny was so loyal to the Queen, and now I have a feeling he'll be just as loyal to the King. The magazine covers are starting to come out all through the UK and, everywhere. And they've used some of the most beautiful and poignant photos of the Queen, I think, for their covers. And I think that all the attention is on her, as it should be at this time. Yep. Now, of course, with the good comes the bad, so we're going to update on a couple of things. First of all, I told you about the horrible tweets this young woman put up. She is a professor at a university in Pennsylvania. The university is now looking at her. She may lose her job. In the meantime, the offending tweets are down. But you got some people in the UK who have some nerve, like this Trevor Sinclair. What are people thinking when they put stuff like this up? Do they not realize what's going to happen? He apparently works for some place called TalkSport. Not sure what all that is. But anyway, they are now investigating. He's up for immediate disciplinary action, and his entire Twitter account has now been deleted. Yay. Another idiot in the UK, I don't understand what these people are thinking. That woman in the picture below stood with a sign that had horrible things written on it. She had a bottle of champagne. She popped the cork. She sprayed champagne, and she was celebrating the death of the Queen. So guess what happened here? Well, it's now being reported that shop has had all of its windows smashed. It's been egged. It's now being surrounded by police protection. And in another article that I found, and I cannot confirm or deny this, they're saying that the owner of the shop was nicked. I believe that means arrested, but don't quote me on that because you guys have a lot of terms. Like it took me forever to learn that a jumper was a sweater. You know what I mean? So, yeah, the shop got what it deserves. Okay, so to end this, I want you to know that Charles gave his first official address after the death of his mother. He spent half of the time talking about his mother and saying wonderful things about her, and every word was heartfelt and well-deserved. Charles then pledged himself, as his mother had done, to however much time he said God granted him, to a life of service and duty. Very moving. Charles then pointed out that he's been married for 17 years to Camilla. She's done a lifetime of service. Said some very nice things. And then, boom, he named William. He said he was proud to make William the Prince of Wales. And basically, he's handing control of the Duchy of Cornwall, which includes control over the money, to William. Yay for them. Then he said it. I want to express my love for Harry and Meghan as they build their life overseas. He said so little, but it spoke volumes. I think he understands what's going to have to be done in order for the monarchy to survive. And I have to say that at the end, Charles looked up into the camera and said, thank you. Thank you for loving my family, etc., etc. And you could just see it on his face. He was fighting to hold in the tears. His nose got red. His cheeks got red. You could just see him fighting to hold it in. Made me want to cry all over again, I'm telling you. Now, there's going to be a memorial service being held at St. Paul's Cathedral this evening. I'm going to touch on that tomorrow. I've come to a point now where I think we need to stop. All right, you guys, there's going to be more information trickling in. It's going to continue to trickle in. So I've decided to end the video right where we are. I know there's going to be more stuff going on this evening, and there's going to be more tomorrow, and we'll cover that at that time. But this is as far as I'm going to go today. You guys know how I feel. Leave your comments below. You know I'm going to read them, okay? Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget, if you've already hit the button, to hit it again just to make sure that you're still subscribed. Don't forget you can email me. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter, Getter, and Rumble. For those who have donated to my coffee fund and for those who have hit the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.